Irish UFC fighter Conor McGregor has visited the White House where he met with Donald Trump, and he was there for St Patrick's Day, and he insisted that his country is at the cusp of losing its Irishness.
The government has long since abandoned the voices of the people of Ireland, and it's high time that America is made aware of what is going on in Ireland. What is going on in Ireland?
Especially places like Ireland that's grappling with a surge in immigration, which has led to a housing crisis and increased social tensions.
Did Conor McGregor cross a line when he confronted Keir Starmer at the White House? Or did he simply say what millions of Irish citizens have been thinking? His explosive comments about Ireland becoming unrecognizable to its diaspora have sparked international debate, as McGregor warned 40 million Irish Americans that they might soon have no place to come home to. He transformed a traditionally ceremonial event into a political battleground. The question isn't whether he should have spoken up, it's whether his celebrity status gives legitimacy to controversial views that might otherwise be dismissed. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Behind the flash and showmanship that defined Conor McGregor's meteoric rise in the UFC lies a calculated mind, one that has seemingly been plotting a political trajectory all along. The bombastic Irishman who once worked as a plumber in Dublin before conquering the fighting world has never been shy about expressing his opinions. But his recent political outbursts represent something more strategic than mere impulse.
You know, our government has long since abandoned the voices of the people of Ireland, and it's high time that America is made aware of what is going on in Ireland. What is going on in Ireland? I'm here to raise the issues that people of Ireland face. You know, and it'll be music to the people of Ireland's ears, because never on the main stage has the issues the people of Ireland face been spoke. You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country.
McGregor's journey from working-class Dublin to global superstardom was marked by an unapologetic confidence that resonated with fans worldwide. His trash-talking persona inside the octagon made him a marketing phenomenon, but looking back, we can spot early signs of his political inclinations bubbling beneath the surface. The fighter who proudly draped himself in the Irish flag while building his empire was simultaneously developing a voice that extended beyond fight promotion. The transition from sports icon to political commentator rarely happens overnight. In McGregor's case, the evolution appears meticulously timed. As his fighting career faced setbacks and controversy, his political voice grew louder, perhaps too conveniently to be coincidental. The question becomes whether we're witnessing genuine political awakening or a celebrity desperate to maintain relevance by any means necessary.
And highlighted, you know, it's also St Patrick's Day, so a little bit of celebrations for sure, and you know, a little bit of learning and listening to Mr. President Trump. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed, and the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, whose work ethic is inspiring, and all that does to me is highlight the lack of work on my side. So that's it, that's what I'm here for.
What makes McGregor's political pivot particularly interesting is how dramatically it contrasts with his carefully crafted fighting persona. Inside the octagon, every move was choreographed for maximum effect. His walkouts, his pre-fight antics, his post-fight celebrations. Now, as he challenges establishment figures, there's a similar theatrical quality to his approach. The same man who once sold fights with outrageous predictions now sells political opinions with equally provocative statements. This transformation couldn't come at a more convenient time for McGregor. Following the civil rape case verdict against him, where he was found liable for assault, his standing in Ireland has suffered significantly. The timing of his political awakening raises questions about whether this is less about civic duty and more about reputation rehabilitation. By positioning himself as a voice for the people, he creates a narrative that competes with the less flattering headlines about his personal conduct. McGregor's comments about Dublin becoming one of the most dangerous cities in Europe after being one of the safest cities just a decade ago demonstrate how he's tapping into genuine public concerns. But these statements also raise questions about factual accuracy and whether he's exploiting anxieties rather than addressing them constructively. Is this the voice of a concerned citizen or someone weaponizing fear for personal gain? His political ambitions are hardly breaking news to those who've paid close attention. McGregor has previously expressed his intention to run for the Irish presidency, a revelation that seemed outlandish at the time, but now appears part of a longer-term strategy. His White House appearance, therefore, wasn't just an impromptu outburst, but potentially a calculated step in building political credibility on an international stage.
We consider America our big sibling, so it's important for Ireland to have be a peaceful, happy, prosperous country for the 40 million Irish Americans to have a place to visit.
We couldn't think of a better guest to have with us on St. Patrick's Day. We're both wearing our green. This was not planned, but very festive. And as you know, I'll be having a briefing later at 1 o'clock, so we'll talk more about their meeting later.
So we wish for our relationship with the United States to continue, and we wish to be taken care of by the big bro. You know, the United States should look after its little bro, and that's how we feel.
The reaction from established Irish political figures has been predictably dismissive. Irish Prime Minister Micheál Martin responded to McGregor's comments by declaring them wrong and emphasizing that they didn't reflect the views of the Irish people. Martin suggested that St. Patrick's Day should be about community and fellowship rather than divisive rhetoric. Meanwhile, Deputy Premier Simon Harris pointedly noted that Conor McGregor is not here in the United States representing Ireland or the people of Ireland. He has no mandate to do such. This establishment pushback only strengthens McGregor's anti-establishment credentials among his supporters. The timing of McGregor's political commentary is particularly revealing. By choosing St. Patrick's Day for his most pointed criticisms, McGregor wasn't just making a statement, he was making it on a day when Irish identity is celebrated globally. This strategic decision maximized media attention while positioning himself as a defender of true Irish values against what he perceives as an ineffective government. The symbolic weight of the day wasn't lost on him. It was precisely the point. What initially appeared as an impulsive confrontation with Keir Starmer now seems more calculated when viewed through this lens. McGregor wasn't merely venting frustrations, he was positioning himself within a specific political space, connecting with the disaffected voters who feel abandoned by mainstream politics. The outburst wasn't random, it was targeted at a politician who represents exactly the type of establishment figure McGregor is defining himself against. What we're witnessing with McGregor's White House confrontation isn't merely a celebrity outburst, it's the emergence of a potential political force. Public opinion in Ireland remains deeply divided on his political posturing. Some Irish citizens applaud his demands for accountability, while others question both his timing and approach. This polarized response mirrors the very political landscape McGregor seems eager to disrupt. The path from sports icon to political figure isn't unprecedented. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Manny Pacquiao successfully leveraged their celebrity status to secure meaningful political roles and influence public policy. McGregor appears to be following this playbook, positioning himself as the voice of ordinary citizens disillusioned with establishment politics. The ultimate question isn't whether McGregor can generate headlines by confronting figures like Starmer, but whether he possesses the substance and commitment to transform provocative statements into meaningful political action. His transition from fighter to potential political candidate represents a fascinating case study in how celebrity influence continues to reshape modern political discourse, for better or worse.